Hello, hello. I think I am live. It says live video starting. Okay. I'm going to assume I'm live. I was unable to connect my Zoom to Facebook. Hello, hello. Okay. So I'm live. I want to jump into the training right away. I was unable to figure out the connection between Zoom and Facebook Live. Figured out the settings, but then it did not let me use the permissions. So we're gonna jump in and you're just gonna do a screen share or see my screen so I can answer this question. So this is our very first free coaching Friday where I am going to address your specific Canvas questions and put a little spin on the solution, finding the best way that Canvas can do some work for you, giving you back more time and energy, since that is what we are all about when we're leveraging Canvas. So the question is, how do I set up student self-pacing in Canvas? Meaning, well, this teacher was coming from the point of view, she has turned her class into a flipped classroom or a hybrid class, which is such a great idea in today's day and age where you can move fluidly from, an asynchronous or online environment into an in-person class environment. So when you have a flipped classroom, a key component of that type of teaching strategy is that you are allowing students to work through content at their own pace. And in Canvas, you want to make sure that you are not having to go in and change a bunch of due dates to provide students access to material that they are working towards or material that they haven't gotten to yet. So what I want to show you is how Canvas can provide this setup where students can move through module content sequentially or not as a means of their own self-pacing and meeting mastery along the way, which will unlock another module. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to go into student view. This is just my practice demonstration class. And I have some modules of content here. Jumping into student view so we can see what this self-pacing looks like. So I'm going to scroll down to a module 4 here, and I have set this up. Okay, so you can see over on the right-hand side, we have some circles here. And usually from a teacher's point of view, this might indicate that something needs to be published. Nope. All of these items are in fact published. However, I've set them up as requirements, sequential requirements to unlock the next module item, as well as unlock the next module entirety. So how did I do this? First of all, I want to point out that each item has a specific kind of indication what students need to do in order to unlock the next piece or item in the module. So for example, this is a page. Students need to mark this as done in order to unlock the next item, which happens to be a discussion. Students need to submit here to unlock the next item. This is an assignment. Students need to submit here to unlock the next item, and so forth. Now, this final page is just a view requirement. Students do not have to mark it as done, but just view it. Once students have completed this entire module, it will unlock the following module. So self-pacing is very much an option in Canvas where you can set this up and then wash your hands of it. It is ready for students to rock without you having to do a lot of management items. And what I love is that students can move obviously at their own pace. Advanced students are not being held up. Struggling students are not being pressured to go forward. Canvas does all of this administrative work for you. Okay, so how did I set this up? I'm going to leave student view. Okay, and I'm going to move down to a set of modules where I've not set anything up yet. So I'm going to move down to module 6 here. Okay, so in module 6, I have a regular page. This is an information page. And then, jumped on me, another page, a discussion, a quiz, assignment, and a page. Okay, I want to make sure students move through this module sequentially and that they cannot even get to module 7 until they've completed module 6. All right, so how do we do this? We're going to go over to the module settings, which is, I collapsed that on accident there. Let me just open this module back up. All right. Module settings, triple dots across from the module name, and then I'm going to go directly to edit. Let me try that again. It's a little bit jumpy, I think, because the live stream is going on. I have lots of tabs open. So module settings. If you don't have anything set up, all you're going to see is the module name. You can always lock and unlock modules using this checkbox here on a specific date. However, with self-pacing, which was the question I got, we're going to leave the lock until checkbox empty and just set up the module prerequisites and requirements. First thing we're going to do though is we're going to set up module requirements to state what students need to complete in order for the module to be set as a completed module. So to add a requirement, I'm just going to add the plus requirement button, and then I want you to focus on the first radio button option here, which is students must complete all of these requirements. That is what you want to have set for self-pacing. Next, you can choose if students need to complete the requirements in sequential order. So that is up to you, but if you are building a full-on like mastery learning path or setting up mastery learning type of assignments, then there is a sequential order, right? Because you're moving students up Bloom's taxonomy, usually through a module. The next thing that you need to do is select the module item that students first need to complete. So I want to make sure that they go through this first page that I have you registered. So any kind of specific page, this is actually a specific item that I have students do at this time in the course. So I want them to at least view the item. So you can see I've selected the page name. The second drop down gives me an option of how I want students to complete this option. So view the item, mark as done, or contribute to the page, because students can actually add to a regular Canvas page. For this particular item, I just want them to show that they have at least opened the page. Okay, so next I'm going to set my next module requirement, which is the agenda page. For this page, I want to make sure that they actually open it and mark it as done. This will provide a button at the bottom of the page that says click mark as done. Okay, so I know that they have opened it, they've scrolled at least to the bottom, they can mark it as done. This is great documentation as well for students who say, I didn't know that was due, or I didn't know we're supposed to do that, or where am I supposed to find this or that? If it's on your agenda page or your overview page, and they mark it as done, here is documentation to show, hey, I have provided you what you needed. You've also, I know that you opened it because you marked it as done. Some nice documentation here for you without ever having to do anything else on your end. So I'm going to set up the rest of the module items, requirements. Okay, here we go. 6. That's a discussion. They have to submit the assignment here. They're going to do a quiz. They need to score at least, that's a 28 total. So I can say, you know, you need to score at least 20 points on that quiz. That's really nice. That's kind of a mastery setup there. So they need to meet mastery in order to move on. We're going to set another requirement. And remember, it's just picking up the very first item that you have. So you need to select the following items. They need to submit because that's an assignment, and I don't need that one. So I'm just going to X out of there. So here I have the entire module. I don't have the wrap-up page here, so that's fine. And now I'm going to update the module. Okay. All right, so it's working its magic here. And then on student side of things, you're going to relock your module based on your requirements. Okay, so now you see up in the top right corner of the module name, complete all items. Okay, Here it has, students need to view this page. They need to mark this page as done. They need to submit this page. They need to score at least 20 points on this quiz, submit this assignment, and then here's the wrap-up page, no requirement needed. All right, so now I have set the pacing of this, set the sequential order of this module. Now, in my class, students cannot move on to Module 7 until they complete Module 6. How do I set that up? All I'm going to do is move to the module settings for the next module, select the settings for the module, click Edit, and all I need to do is set a prerequisite. This is really easy and very fast. You're just going to say your prerequisite to get into Module 7 is for them to complete any requirements that I set in Module 6. That's it. So when I update the module, we are now going to say, yes, we want to relock the module based on the requirements or prerequisites we've set. Now we can see the prerequisite for this module is Module 6 and any requirements that I set up in Module 6. Okay, so that's how easy it is to set up self-pacing in Canvas. You do it once, it is set for your students. You do not have to go in and manipulate due dates and lock dates and all of that jazz, because students are going to work through Canvas as you have set it up. Okay, so I hope this helps you out with any kind of self-pacing or flipped classroom where students are doing the work on their time at their pace. All right, have a great day. If you have any other questions, you definitely want to check out the link I have in the description. That is a quick Google form where you could submit your Canvas question or challenge, and I do my very best to attack that question or challenge with the mindset of how can I make Canvas do the work for you. Okay, so that is what we're all about here. We're going to leverage the heck out of Canvas so that you can have more time in your week, more time to yourself, more time to reflect, and therefore more time to be the teacher that you've always dreamed of being. Okay, now I do have one more announcement for you on this live. I want to announce that I'm doing a very small offer here, which is just a free one-on-one coaching. I am working out details on a framework I am working on that tells teachers the exact systems that they can set up in Canvas that will leverage the heck out of Canvas, meaning things that Canvas will do for you if you know how to set them up. Okay, so I have 3 spots open for the free one-on-one coaching to help me figure out the final details of this framework, and I would love for you to join me so I can help you and you can also help me and give me some great feedback on this framework. If you're interested in one of these 3 spots, just give me a quick email at hello@leveragingelearning.com. Thanks and see you soon.